Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I've kindly been asked by Criterion to review one of their many films that they offer on their site. So the film that they asked me to review today is Rabbit Proof Fence. So firstly, I'm going to talk a little bit about what Criterion actually is. So Criterion is an American home video distribution company. It was founded in 1994 by Joe Medjuck and Robert Stein. The main aim of Criterion is to focus on restoring and redistributing important classic films that were in case lost to people such as yourself. So Rabbit Proof Fence is actually one of the many films available on the Criterion site. To begin, Rabbit Proof Fence was released on February 2nd, 2002 and is exactly 1 hour and 34 minutes long. The film is an adventure drama film, so some people that prefer that drama more might prefer this film more than others. So the film was directed by Philip Noyce and also produced once again by Philip Noyce, Christine Olsen, and John Winter, all very known. Rabbit Proof Fence follows the storyline of two sisters, 14-year-old Molly, who is played by Evelyn Sampe, 8-year-old Daisy, played by Tiana Sansbury, and their cousin 10-year-old Gracie, played by Laura Monaghan. The film was based on a real story, so the actors were aimed to look as alike to the real Molly, Daisy, and Gracie. So the film was created to spread awareness about the stolen generation. Philip Noyce described the film as a very moving film. He said that his approach to the film's script was very unashamedly emotional. He said, as his words, "I wanted to make a film in which every Australian viewer would become so emotionally involved that they would want to adopt the three girls as their own children." Now let's begin with the film's actual storyline / plot. So as said before, the film is based on a true story. So the film's storyline was all interpreted from what actually happened. However, Doris Pillington and Christine Olsen did work together to create a strong storyline for the movie. So the film was based in the year 1931. So the film takes place firstly in Geelong, Australia, where Molly, Daisy, and Gracie live. On a normal and typical night for the three girls, they were taken from their families all the way to Rivermore, a place north of Perth. The reason for the girls being taken from their homes was for them to be trained and brought up as domestic staff in a mission settlement. However, not nearly a day later after arriving, the girls escaped during a stormy day. So we can tell that this was set during the cross between summer and winter in Australia. They then began a grueling and enduring 1,600-kilometer trek following a rabbit-proof fence. The fence was built in 1905 to divide the east and west of Australia and to keep rabbits and other animals to the east and out of the Western Australia areas. That is where the film's actual name, Rabbit Proof Fence, was interpreted from / inspired from. So the three girls then over the next 9 weeks made a very long mental and physical trek from Rivermore to Geelong, Australia, facing many challenges along the way, which is uncovered during the film. So for the film to turn out as amazing as it did and as popular as it did, it needed to have a very strong and moving storyline, as well as a very engaging cinematography. So the cinematography of Rabbit Proof Fence was done by Christopher Doyle, an Australian and Hong Kong cinematographer. So the movie's overall cinematography was divided into 5 categories. So the first one was framing, the second one was setting and props, third was lighting, fourth was costume and makeup, and finally fifth was camera angles. So firstly, the framing. The framing of a film defines the image through the uses of various shot types. In Rabbit Proof Fence, I found it included a range of shots. However, the most frequent shot that I picked up on was wide shot. I found that shot was used the most when the girls were completing their trek across the long and enduring Rabbit Proof Fence. Secondly, the setting and props provided a context for the viewers, a sense of physical and cultural setting. In Rabbit Proof Fence, the setting and props are used to show the location / setting, such as Geelong, Australia, or Rivermore, and the class of the characters. It provides us with a sense of their current location and setting us, providing us with more information. The lightings in film create an atmosphere about the film. There are 3 lighting types: backlighting, front lighting, and side lighting, each forming a different atmosphere. In Rabbit Proof Fence, I found that they use a lot of different types of lighting. However, I found they mainly use the natural light. And I think especially during the day, they took advantage of the natural light. I believe director Philip did this to create a realistic sense as to what it was actually like for the three girls. Costume and makeup provide us with a visual cues and information about each different character shown in a film. So it can show their background and their overall status. And in the movie's case, it is dividing the different classes, the Aboriginals compared to the Europeans. So for example, the three sisters are dressed in a very old and reused clothing and had very messy and unhygienic hair, you could say. Whereas, compared to the staff in the mission settlement, who wore more formal, clean, and neat clothing, and with their hair done all nice and neat, which really creates an effect between the two different classes and how they were treated. Finally, the camera angles show the position of the camera in relation to the actors/characters. This creates an effect in the film. So an example of this is a point of view shot was used when the head of the facility is speaking to the girls when they had just arrived, showing their point of view through their eyes. He's looking down at them from a higher angle, which can be interpreted as him being higher power than the girls, as he would be high or middle class, whereas the girls were treated more as lower class. So this shows a divide between them. So after the release of the film on February 2nd, 2002, the film was an instant hit. It ended up with an excellent numbers at the box office in Australia and also overseas. It won the Best Film at the Australian Film and Distribution Award and received very strong and positive reviews from locals and international critics. So to conclude, I personally think Rabbit Proof Fence is a very good, engaging, and interesting film, and I'd highly recommend it. However, I do think the film is targeted at a more older age category. I would say 17 plus. I find kids younger than that might not find it as engaging. So I would give the film a 4 out of 5 stars. I think the cinematography and storyline was very grasping, and I would recommend this to many people.